forward like?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun after that title game. Just getting to come back and go to the parade and see all the fan support. It's like a once in a lifetime experience for sure. We kind of set in now, and we just got back. Some of us got in yesterday, Saturday, but now we're just focused on next year. We started our first workouts today, so I'm excited to get that. We still got a few guys not here, but looking forward for the whole team to get here so we can start worrying about next year.
For you, obviously, first season with the program last year, what was kind of the redshirt experience like?
I saw a lot of new things. Just the traveling. I mean, traveling all over the place. The private plane. They didn't really have that in Missouri Southern, but it's a cool experience. Just being able to go to all the different gyms and just experiencing it all for the first time.
What kind of conversations have you guys as players had so far? I know you've been kind of your own places the last couple of weeks, but as far as what this next season's about, what you need to do this week to kind of set that tone, I mean, have you had many of those?
We really haven't many conversations like that. Just kind of, yesterday we started our group Snapchat, just kind of casual talk, getting to know everybody, becoming friends. Just kind of the guys that have been here, we've been hanging out a little bit just in the dorms, and just getting to know everybody really right now has been the main focus.
Is it difficult to transition into something new? I mean, the old was pretty good, right?
Yeah, the old was great, but I feel like most teams every year have they lose guys and new guys come in, so everybody's used to that. But we did lose a lot last year. I'm not sure how many guys, 7, 8 maybe, but we got a bunch of good guys coming in, great additions, and I think we're gonna have a great year.
What goals do you have personally, just for yourself at this point?
For myself, I'd say this summer just to have a good summer, to get better every day. For the upcoming season, just to show up, be there for my teammates, and just win basketball games.
I know we did this when you committed and when you arrived and all that, but I'm going to ask you again now that you've been here a year to kind of reset it. Where do you want to play? What position? I mean, I'm sure your answer is anywhere they'll play you, right? But like, yeah. what's ideal for you?
That's a tough question, just because I feel like it tends so much against matchups. Like if I had a slower guy who's bigger, I'd be in more like pick and pop situations on the perimeter, just moving, going by him, shooting. They try and put somebody smaller or switch ball screens and just roll them into the post and post them up. So it really just depends on personnel and who we're playing, who's guarding me, things like that.
Where'd you get better the most? Which area during the last year?
First, I'd say mentally. I feel like adjusting to the way Coach Self coaches, the way he wants you to play. That's a good adjustment for me. I think it made me better mentally as a player. Next, it's a much physical game. Going from not being able to touch anybody to pretty much free game as a 5-man. So that was a big adjustment at the beginning. I tried so hard at Missouri Southern not to get in foul trouble, whereas here it's pretty much free game when it comes to fouling and just being physical and sealing guys and things like that. So it was a good adjustment, and I'm glad I got to adjust to it for sure.
What was your role? I mean, you guarded Dave a lot in practice, I'm sure, right? I mean,
yeah, I would. It really just depended. So we worked a lot on me playing like at the 4-2 and just switching all ball screens.
Okay.
Because with us, the 1 through 4 is kind of the same position. So I'd guard a lot of guys on the perimeter most of the season. So I really didn't guard a bunch. The 5-man is really focusing on getting better 1 through 4 and switching ball screens and things like that. And then offensively, I kind of switched back and forth from the 4 and 5. It just kind of depends on who we were playing. The scout, I'd play certain players. If it was a better 5-man, I'd usually play the 5-man. Or if the wings were better, I'd usually play on the wing.
Who were you in the title game, scout?
Title game scout was Brady Manning.
Yeah, makes sense.
What do you think of this year's NBA draft with the Jayhawks in it? Will it be more exciting for you?
It'll definitely be more exciting. Having some teammates I've been around and just hoping everybody goes as high as possible. I'm super excited for them, and I think they're all going to do great the next chapter in their life.
How do you think CB and Ochai will do, and David, in the draft?
They all should be first rounders, in my opinion. Draft them as high as possible.
What was kind of your reaction when Kevin McCullough initially committed, and then when he withdrew from the NBA draft?
Just excited. I know he's a great player. Just being able to see him in person and play against him, he's a great competitor, and that's a guy that you want your team together to come out and compete every night, and I'm excited to have him as a teammate.
You mentioned learning how Coach Self coaches and what's required to play that. Can you sum it up? Can you explain it? How does he coach, and in your words, through your eyes?
Through my eyes, I feel like Coach Self has one speed, and that's max speed at all times. He expects excellence. I mean, he wants you to be perfect, and he's going to coach you hard. And if he sees guys he can affect you, then he's going to mess with you even more. And you just got to be mentally tough and just take it all with a grain of salt and just next play mentality.
You mentioned you got better mentally. How much of a role did that idea that you just described play in that?
It was a big role for sure. It's easy to, when you struggle a little bit or adjust, to get in your own head and start second guessing yourself or missing shots you shouldn't miss, or just simple things like that. So just, you gotta be mentally tough and just worry about the next play.
How would you describe KJ's game?
KJ's game, KJ just plays, he's just a freak athlete, just natural. He just has so much God-given ability. He's super strong. He came in super strong from day one. You can see when he dunks the ball and gets his head at the rim. He's a freak athlete and a great defender.
Cam, was there a hole in your game that maybe you didn't know was there, that was kind of shown to you throughout this past year?
I would say just getting rid of habits and bad habits I developed at the Division II level. Just with like the physicality, that was the biggest thing. Is just figuring out what I was allowed to do and how more physical I could play. And I think that's what just took a little bit to adjust to.
What could KJ be this year for this team?
We have a lot of great players, so we're just gonna have to get in the gym this summer and see kind of spread it out, see who does what, and because we have a lot of great players that are coming in and haven't even seen the freshmen play, so it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Hey, when you decided to redshirt, if I'm not mistaken, part of that decision was so that there'd be some experience and older dudes on this coming team. Was that a part of it for you? And how big do you see that being for your role, but also getting Jalen back and a guy that can kind of do that with you?
Yeah, no, so when it was my decision to redshirt, when I decided to redshirt, a big part that I talked about it with Coach Self is having a bigger role and coming back the next year. And that was a big part of my decision. We talked about, did you come to Kansas to have this type of role, or you could possibly have this type of way? What do you want? And that's why I decided it was best for me to do it. And I think with guys like Jalen coming back with experience, that's really big for us. Having DeJuan come back as a point guard of the national championship team, with his experience, is great for us. We got a kind of mixture this year of younger and older guys, whereas last year we were more mature, older, transfers. So it's going to be different, but it's going to be good, I think.
With some of those true freshmen coming in, I guess, do you run research on them? Do you know much about them at this point, or is it kind of just a wait and see game?
Yeah, I see some things on Twitter throughout the year, but I really didn't pay attention to a lot of it. I met some of the guys on their visits when they came, but that was, back in October, August, and I wasn't planning on being here another year at the time, so I really didn't think too deep into it anyways. But no, I'm excited to have this first workout today and kind of play with everybody for the first time and see how things go.
Cam, you ready? Okay, go ahead.
One more. What was your reaction to Jalen's decision to come back? I mean, this is a guy that took it down to the wire, right?
No, just there's like excitement. That's my roommate. We're really good friends. I'm happy for him either way. I just want him to make the best decision for himself. But selfishly, I'm glad he's coming back, and I get the opportunity to play with him.
All right, Cam. Thank you.
Thanks, man.